Hi, second grade. Today is day 2 of our shoe self-portrait, which means we need to take the sketch that we created yesterday and make a final drawing. As you can see, I started all of the things that I needed to start yesterday. I have my shoes, I have my outfit, I have my face, my hair, I decorated my shoes, I decorated my clothes, and I decorated my background. But I'm looking at my piece of paper and I don't feel like this is my best work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this next to me, but get a brand new piece of paper, and I'm going to copy what I did yesterday, but a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner, and a little bit more detailed onto a brand new piece of paper. So let's go over the things that we learned yesterday. The first thing we need to do is make sure that we have nice big shoes. A lot of the drawings that I saw yesterday had really little shoes and little bodies on your paper, and a lot of the background was left white. So what we want to try to do today when we're redrawing our sketch is make it nice and big so that the bottom of the paper is almost touching the shoes and the top of the paper is almost touching the head and the hair. So I'm going to look at my piece of paper here and look at kind of the middle of the paper. And I want to make my two shoes about the size of the bottom of this paper. So I'm going to start. One way to do it is to do a rainbow shape and then a U shape, because remember we talked about yesterday, feet are wide, skinny, and then wide. Or you can just freehand the shoes, whichever way works best for you, okay? Moving on from there, I like to start about in the middle of the shoe, and I do a diagonal line going up, not too long, because remember, you have to fit your whole body on here still. Then I sit and I do another line here, and then I go across the top here, and these are going to be your legs. From there, I do a line going up and a line going down, kind of like an upside down V. Now, we talked yesterday, there's a couple different things that you can do with your legs. Now, remember, this is a self-portrait, so think about the things that you like to wear. Do you normally wear pants? Do you normally wear skirts and dresses? Do you normally wear shorts? It's completely up to you what you want it to look like. Now, remember, to do shorts, you're going to do 2 lines across like this. And to do a skirt or a dress, you're going to connect those 2 lines with a curved line like this. And then I always just erase the pointy part at the very top. So now you have a skirt. So you get to decide how you want to do your bottoms. From there, you're going to do 2 lines coming up. Again, you don't want them to be super long. If you want a long sleeve shirt, you're going to take your pencil and do a long rectangle going down. And then I always just try to add my fingers the best that I can. Second grade fingers can be a little bit tricky, so just try to make sure that you have 5. So I do little ovals and I do 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little one for a thumb, kind of like I'm drawing the petals of a flower. Okay? You could also do a short sleeve shirt, which would be more of a square than a rectangle. And then I always bring my arms in just a little bit from the t-shirt. So just a little bit in, just a little bit in. And then once again, I try to make the fingers the best that I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little thumb, 5. Okay? From there, we talked about yesterday, you could have a V-neck or a scoop or a crew neck. So a V-neck is exactly what it sounds. You'd go down and then back up for a V, but if you don't normally wear V-necks, which I normally don't, you are going to want to make a crew neck. So a crew neck is a curved line just like this. So that's what most t-shirts and most sweatshirts look like, is crew neck t-shirts and sweatshirts, just like that. From here, I'm going to draw my neck and I'm going to draw my head. Now remember, this is my final drawing, so I do want to make it look a little bit nicer than my first one. And I'm looking at my first body versus my second body, and I actually am feeling like this one looks a little bit better. I feel like my lines are a little bit cleaner. I'm taking my time to make it look really nice, okay? From here, you can do your face however you would like. I mentioned yesterday that I like to do football-shaped eyes. I do a little C for a nose, and then I do an M for my top lip and a little U for my bottom lip. But again, you can do whichever face you would like. I have kind of some examples right here. Okay, so I am going to, since I am doing my final drawing and I'm copying from my first sketch, I'm going to try to redraw my face but make it a little bit nicer. So I'm going to do a football shape with a circle and a circle inside, a football shape with a circle and a circle inside, and then I'm going to do my C nose, my little M for the top lip, U for the bottom lip, and then I connect them, and then I'm going to give myself ears, okay? Now remember, this is a self-portrait, so when you draw your hair, you want to draw your hair like you would normally wear it. I mentioned yesterday that I don't really ever wear my hair down. I normally wear it in a bun or a ponytail. So what I'm going to do is give myself little bangs, and then I'm going to bring my hair down and make a little ponytail. Okay, remember, you do not want to fill your ponytail or your hair or anything in like this. We are going to be tracing these pencil lines, and we are also going to be coloring things in. And that makes it really, really hard to trace and color if you're coloring things in with your pencil. So I want you to leave everything open and everything outlined, okay? And so far, I really do feel like this is looking better than my first sketch. Okay, from here, you definitely need to decorate your outfit and your shoes. So what I'm going to do is just pick a random design for one shoe. And again, you can see already my spiral is looking nicer than the first one I did. And I'm looking over at my sketch right now so that I can remember what it looked like yesterday. Now remember, you can pick a completely random design for the bottom of your shoe, or you could go ahead and find a shoe around your house and you could copy the bottom of the shoe, flip it over and copy what's on the bottom. Both shoes do not have to be the same. You could do one shoe designed one way and another shoe designed another way. So this one I'm going to do some stripes and maybe a star or two, and I'm just going to design it whichever way I want. So I'm not personally looking at the bottom of my shoe, but you might want to do that, okay? You can also add things to your outfit. Maybe you want to have buttons like I did yesterday. You could add little pockets. I normally just use little curved lines in the corner of my pants or my skirt or my shorts to make pockets. You could have bracelets on. You could have earrings if you wanted to have earrings. So you can add lots of different things. Remember, it should be things that you actually wear. Okay, you could also be holding things in your hand. I didn't talk about that much yesterday, but if there's something that you like to do, like a sport or a food that you like to eat, you could put it in your hand. So for example, I could have a basketball here, like this, in one hand, and then maybe in the other hand, I have an ice cream cone. Now you can make up your own things because it should be something that you like, not something that I like. Now, if you like the same thing as me, absolutely you can draw this. But if you don't, then I want you to draw your own thing. But you don't need anything in your hands if you don't want them. Okay? And then you need to decorate your background. That's the last part. So yesterday I talked about how I like being in the sun. I love the summertime. And I ended up on my sketch adding a cloud. I had a sun and I had some grass. And then I added some more people in my background. But I think I'm actually going to get rid of those for my final drawing. But if you want to keep everything that you originally did, you're more than welcome to do that. All right. So I'm going to do my sun and bring it down, and I'm doing a little bit of overlapping right now. Remember, we talked about overlapping when we did our sunflowers, which reminds me, friends, if you have not uploaded your sunflowers into the Miss Hout Turn-In folder, I want you to make sure that you are doing that when your sunflowers are done and when you are ready. So please make sure you don't forget to upload your sunflower picture. All right, and then I'm going to do my cloud. And then at the very bottom, I'm going to do my grass. And you can always add things, second grade, that you didn't have on your original sketch. For example, on my original sketch, I don't have a cat. But I'm thinking about it, and I really, really, really love my cat. And I would love to add her to my self-portrait. So what I'm going to do is add some extra things. So that's why we do a sketch first and then a final drawing. So we know exactly what we want and what we would like to change. So I'm going to draw my cat at the bottom. She's the best. All right, this looks kind of silly at the bottom here. And then here is my final drawing. So look at the difference between how kind of sloppy this one is. I kind of randomly colored some things in. I don't have very clean lines. It just doesn't look like my best work versus this one, which I think looks a lot better. Okay, now if you already did this, if you already went from your sketch to your final drawing, the next step is going to be tracing. So you are going to want to trace over all of your pencil lines, just like we did with our treasure maps and just like we did with our sunflowers. So you could use a Sharpie, you could use, this is called a Flair pen, it's by Papermate, but some of you might have something similar to this. You can use off-brand permanent markers, or you could use a black Crayola marker. I do want you to try to do it in black. If you don't have black, that's totally fine. You could use something a little bit darker, like I have a gray. That would work too, or maybe even a brown color. That would work as well. Second grade, I do not want you to start coloring. I only want you to go from your sketch with a pencil to your final drawing with a pencil, and maybe if you already did that and did it quickly, you could start tracing. But I do not want you to start coloring yet. We will talk about that in the next couple of days. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions. You can email me or message me on Schoology. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'm excited to see what these start to look like. Thanks, everybody.